Well, I think, are we still in Pennsylvania?
Yes, we are still in Pennsylvania.
Still in Pennsylvania. I think we got like 5 hours. No, it shouldn't be 5. Like 3 hours left, hopefully.
So this is our 4th immersion trip. What we try to do is we try to pick an event that you can take a large group of journalists and airdrop them into the event, and everybody can get a story. And we can do print, radio, TV, documentary, photos, a live blog. You know, it lends itself to all of those things. And we can do it in a couple of days' time. And something that's really on the national radar, a story. So we're not creating stories here, we're going to, real life stories.
Obviously we're reporting objectively, but it's a really great opportunity to be immersed in what we're going to school for and have the opportunity to report and be part of something really much bigger than ourselves.
The train ride's been fun.
Yeah,
Sleeping was not fun at all, but I think I slept a total of 45 minutes total.
Yeah.
I slept in intervals of about 5 minutes.
You don't really have an opportunity to spend 34 hours traveling with your peers and teachers, so.
I've learned a lot about the professors, and I love them even more.
So you're from Milwaukee?
Correct. I'm traveling alone, and I made this trip at 10 a.m. today. I was at work, and I just felt like something was drawing me. I had wanted to do that. I just knew I had to come.
The train ride hasn't been that bad. A lot nicer than I thought it would be. There's no Wi-Fi, so that's a downside. But I have a hotspot, so it's not too bad. I got into contact with Moms Demand Action on Facebook, and the chairperson from the Wisconsin chapter gave me a number of a woman who's going to the march with her 12-year-old daughter. And I plan to hopefully meet up with them or get a video from them that kind of puts perspective on maybe the Moms Demand Action version. And it's nice because she'll have a daughter there as well who can speak to me. And I'm super excited to see what everybody else produces.
I did a lot of just reading of like previous coverage for this shooting and the coverage of the survivors, and then also I looked into like the coverage of some previous shootings. Like I read like some of the background on Columbine and some others, and I was hoping to do more on the train with Wi-Fi, but yeah, but that didn't work out. So I don't know, hopefully once we get to DC I'll be able to do some more preparation.
Different characters that serve people.
Really nice.
We've been on a train for 17 hours.
Wow.
So,
17 hours.
yes.
Yeah.
We were making Valentines Day cards, and the next second being shot at, literally dodging bullets with gas grenades. They turned off the lights on us, they cut the Wi-Fi. He was chasing us up the stairs, and when I got pulled into the room, that's when he was there. So it was seconds after I got pulled into the room, and then he was trying to get into my dorm, screaming at us. I had nightmares every night. I couldn't eat for the first week, but like I said, when my friends never left my side. From the night it happens, they came to my house, and my family, I don't even know the next person my family, they've been by my side, and they're coming up tonight as well. And some of us, like me, I still don't believe it's real. I still think I'm going to be in class, and Meadow's going to be in there, Joaquin's going to be in there.
The mayor's on her way, but most importantly, we have some important young voices, student voices, young voices who are going to lead the way today. What are we marching for? After the Parkland shooting, students decided to take action. That action was the March for Our Lives movement. Because this issue is no stranger to youth in DC. Many of us know someone who has been a victim of gun violence or have had a personal experience with gun violence. I myself lost a cousin. His name was Kevin Allen.
But our laws don't help us if Virginia doesn't pass common sense gun laws, if Maryland doesn't pass common sense gun laws, and there are illegal guns coming to our city. We have had too many tragedies. For me, I thought they would do something when we had the tragedy in Sandy Hook. Little 6-year-old children gunned down in their school. I thought they would do something when we had a tragedy in the church in South Carolina. I thought they would do something after the Pulse nightclub where people were gunned down just going to have fun. We can have a Second Amendment and have common sense gun laws, and that's what we demand today.
And of course, the ultimate villain, Senator Marco Rubio of Florida.
Do you have a minute? I know you guys are probably going to go ahead.
You never know when you could be a victim of gun violence. Gun violence is everywhere, and it's not just in communities. It's more in certain communities, but it's everywhere. It's worldwide. So it's always a factor in your life, and it's something you have to think about, especially as a young black boy living in America. You know, you always have to be protective and look for your surroundings. Be aware. I hope this will inspire change to our council, to our leaders. I hope this message gets to higher people like Trump and Rubio so they can see the change that needs to happen and that they need to make.
The march starts in about an hour. We're going to see what's going on around the Trump Tower and what we can expect from the march and the marchers, and we're just like feeling a lot of things. There's tanks behind us. Yeah. They're a little intimidating.
The most important thing that we can do to honor the victims of senseless and preventable gun violence day in and day out is to vote.
You know, fortunately, I've come from a family of veterans, so those in my family who have had weapons, who do have weapons, know how to control them, know how to lock them up, know how to keep them, know how to keep ammunition separate from the weapon itself. You know, it just kills me. I mean, just this young girl who was killed in St. Mary's County, she died on Thursday. That's my home. That's where I live. I'm from Maryland. So it's just it's crazy.
No, it's because you love sin, and when you get pregnant, you want an easy way out. That's what you want.
I see a lot of people out here trying to, actively march to take away the rights, and I'm trying to prevent that.
Yeah, just wanted to express support for the Second Amendment and show that there's a lot of Americans who do support the Second Amendment and that it's not one-sided. So I think that there's a bunch of solutions and a lot of common ground to be had. And I think a lot of people out here protesting would probably agree with some of this.
I see gun ownership like vaccination. The more people that have it, the less people die.
That's a great point right there.
Every mass shooting pierces the heart of a teacher.
We don't want to arm ourselves. We want to be able to teach the children and have the children come to school.
I am for the Second Amendment. I don't want to take away people's guns rights. I'm for sensible gun control, and there's no reason assault weapons should be in people's hands.
Well, if you look back in history, the civil rights movement started with youth. The Vietnam War protests started with the youth, and I think that I'm hopeful that the Parkland students have started a revolution as well, a good revolution.
We don't need more guns.
So what are you marching for today?
Well, I'm here for the 7 generations. I'm here for those who can't speak for themselves. I have grandchildren myself. I have 3 grandchildren. So I want to see a better future for them. I'm heading south. I'm heading up to the cliff, So whatever I can do, to bring about a small piece of change for the world, that's why I'm here.
3, 2, 1.
Literally so many people. We were just walking and it was like shoulder to shoulder. We could not get past them.
There are so many people here. I mean, I think that the estimate of the 500,000 people is probably accurate. It's so crowded you can barely move. We're on the sidewalk because we cannot do any work if we're going to get inside the crowd.
I know we all came here with certain angles that we were supposed to focus on, but with all the action that's surrounding us and all the different events that we've gone to, it's like kind of hard to focus on the angle that we came here with. So for my stories, I totally changed what I was going to do. I just ended up picking stuff that I had no idea was going to happen, and I think it was important to come here with ideas, but I'm really glad that we've been able to see and experience so much because we're able to pick through so many different ideas to focus on for our projects.
So this is my uncle when he was really young. His uncle Leon, he was shot in his face with an argument by his friend. And then my cousin Steve was killed. And I saw him laying down in the middle of the street in blood. So, yeah.
We're right here on Pennsylvania and 9th, and it is super packed right now. We're barely moving. We're shoulder to shoulder, everyone.
Well, it's certainly ironic, isn't it, that back in '68 when they were demonstrating, I could look out my window and see the '67 riots going on, and I never demonstrated because I had wingtips and a white shirt, and now I'm 71 and I'm demonstrating.
We had a quick change of plans, and while Washington, D.C. was informative and full of great stories, with the March for Our Lives going on, we decided to drive 30 miles outside of the city and cover a different story.
We're here now in Manassas, Virginia, in front of Dominion Arms. Tomorrow we intend to investigate every angle of the American gun conversation.
Like I can almost imagine the Civil War guys trudging through the
This is very We are going specifically to counties that voted for Donald Trump in the last election. And hopefully that kind of gives us a little bit of an understanding of their political opinion and background right off the bat. Yeah, we keep getting closer and closer to kind of what we're looking for, but it's definitely proving to be like a rural-urban divide. And that's kind of where these conflicts are starting to occur.
Battalion participating on a church. Or go the Catlin Market would be good. We could go in there. I wish we had 2 more days here.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I know.
We didn't really go all the way to Warrenton. It was a little too far away, and we were able to meet a lot of great people once we were
driving through. We stopped at local businesses. We stopped in some homes. The first place we went was Dollar General, where we met 2 ladies working the counter. They didn't oppose gun
regulation.
They didn't oppose gun control.
So now we're headed back to Manassas for the gun show, and I think what's been really interesting, like without going into detail of every single interview, is that every time we go, there's always they always defy the stereotype that we get in our head and kind of have those stereotypes constantly broken, because I think it reaffirms why this is so important.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll find more of that at the gun show. We'll see.
I think personally that the trip was really a smashing success. I hope that students feel the same way. And to be perfectly honest, we have, I would venture to guess, the largest single newsroom of anybody who was there, or at least one of the largest. So to send 12 journalists out into the field, all looking for different angles, different stories, doing different genres, different mediums, is not something to be taken lightly. I think we can really tell the story in a really powerful way.
I think that it was for sure amazing. One of the best experiences I've ever had so far in my journalism career. when we applied for this, I wrote in there that I wanted to be a part of something way bigger than myself. And I really think that I accomplished that by being able to march with the students and just getting everybody's perspective. And I met so many great people on this journey, from the people on the train to people at the station to just people in the DC area. It's just been an overall great experience, and I'm so glad that I was able to, participate and be a part of this.
I mean, this was a great experience to have. Jessica was telling me earlier, like they can only do so much in the classroom, and it's not until we come out here and we do these things firsthand. So I think it's really important, and I'm really glad that we got this opportunity.
It was a super amazing experience. I look forward to having a bunch of clips that I'll be able to use for my portfolio and internships, and I'm really confident that the material that we got out of this march is really going to make an impact on our portfolios over the next couple of years at least. Like, if we're able to produce some high quality work, I think that's really going to help us stand out against other journalism majors who may be competing for the same jobs, internships, fellowships, etc. that we are. So I'm really happy I feel very privileged to have gone on this trip and do journalism and do reporting firsthand with the help of Jesse, Jessica, and Jane. So I'm really happy that I went, and I look forward to doing more stuff like this in the future.